Axle log medley. In training, I was using 245 for the axle and 230 for the log. My last training session coming into this meet, I ended up hitting 6 reps starting with the axle, and that was at comp weight. I had a log PR in training a few weeks prior. It was 251. I had to sneak on those fractionals. I really took my time on this event and made sure that I was fully recovered before I hit the log. The balance on that log is really tough. I intentionally slow down the dip, and it helps me with balance. And as you can see, I'm still off balance with the log, which tells me that I need to just put some more work into this. And because I knew what my limit was, I really took my time. The axle was pretty easy for me, and I've spent a lot of time honing in on the technique for the axle. And I'm pretty sure the Olympic lifting helps with this too as well. I was actually very, very surprised that 5 reps took first place on this event. The farmer's walks. Before this contest, 250 per hand was the most that I ever done for 50 feet. And training for the show really pushed me. I never would have imagined that I'd be doing 100 feet with 240 per hand with the turn. And when I had started, farmers was one of my weakest strongman events. And it's pretty safe to say that it's one of my stronger events now. During that turn, the momentum was really tough, so I trained by dropping them to prevent the handles from rotating any further, and it proved to be a good strategy. The sandbag keg. Moving events on my gym. I had plenty of time to practice with both implements. Getting the keg to clear my hips is super important to move fast, and picking up the bag like a stone and really popping it up is very efficient. When I started training in 2015, I remember Nick Canby showed me how to lift up a sandbag, and to this day I still use that technique. Stone, 56 inches is pretty friggin' high. I knew the last stone was going to be a Hail Mary for myself. So in training, I trained with a 300 stone, 56 inches for singles, and on the last heavy training day, I did it in reverse order, starting with 300 and going down to 240. But coming into this event, I knew everybody was going to have problems with this. So I did my best to get the first 2 stones as fast as possible because I knew they were going to use split times. So after I got the first 2, I just kind of took as much rest as I needed to really give that last stone a good whack. I was only going to have one good shot at picking it up, walking it over, and trying to load it. Because I tried picking it up, dropping it, and picking it again, and it was pretty terrible in training, and I knew I'd only have one good shot at that, but I think I gave her everything I got there. This show was all about weighing out my odds. I looked past at my last 2 nationals I bet at in 2016 and 2018, and I placed just about 50% at both nationals, and I knew there would be no way I'd be able to do the deadlift. So I ran a few simulations with the data I had, and I concluded that the likelihood of me coming in top 3 was pretty high as long as I placed top 3 on all the other events. There was originally planned 6 people in the lightweight 165 class, and 2 of them didn't even show up. So that actually increased my odds even more. All I had to do was be really good at the things I'm good at, cut down to 165 pounds. And this took 12 30-minute baths, and I did the math on that. That's 6 hours of sitting in a hot-ass bath to get down to weight. Sitting in that bath, I was observing the way the bath water tasted in my mouth, the metal consistency there, the constant calibration of my mind, reminding myself that this is only discomfort and to live each moment as if it was the last to be alive. And embracing the little things, like the cool breeze my mouth produced on my not submerged limbs, and the transition from being half in to half out of the water, and even holding my breath to challenge myself with a different discomfort. And I even shed a few tears on a couple songs that I've been deeply connected to for a long time. And I'll be honest, this was probably the best thing I could have done for my mental toughness training. I gained a greater appreciation for what normal feels like and not placing judgment on the current circumstances. It made it easy to squash the jitters and get into a flow state for training. And I came to terms with accepting that whatever the outcome may be, that it just simply is what it is. This was my first national title at 165 lightweight open.